Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at these extra large clamps for your Trxstle fly rod carriers. We're going to be not only showing you how these install, but how they work with our larger ladder rack bars today. Now the clamps that come with the fly rod carrier from Trxstle are fine, they're just kind of small. So if you find yourself with any thicker crossbars, or some that maybe have larger diameters if they're round, these probably aren't going to work super well, and I'll show you what I mean. We've got our Yakima ladder rack up here, and the bars are just a little bit thicker than, say, like a standard aero bar might. And this bottom part of the clamp just really can't go any further to reach where that bolt needs to sit. Now, to solve that, their extra large clamp, I'll show you side by side, that bottom part is significantly larger. So when we put this up, it'll actually be able to wrap around and reach that bolt where it sits. Now, depending on your fitment, you'll see that the bottom part is sitting pretty uneven for us. So we will be installing one of the included spacers to level that out a bit and take up some of the gap up top. But without further ado, let's take this down to our tailgate and get this installed to the carrier. Now in your kit, you're going to get a variety of different bolt lengths that you could swap out if you needed to, using the included Allen key up top. For us today, our pre-installed bolt is actually the perfect length for our crossbars, so we don't need to worry about this for our sake. And like I said, I'm going to be installing those spacers. They've got an adhesive back, and I'll just lay it where we've got this small indention. I'm going to line up the tab on that spacer and just press it down so that adhesive sticks. If it's not perfect right now, that's fine, because really, once we install the clamp, that's going to be doing a lot of the work for us to hold it down tight and get that to stick permanently. Now, the other pieces of our clamp to actually hold it in are going to be this black plastic section. We're going to have a star washer, and if you drop it, that's all right. Just pop that right back on the end of the stud, and then your security nut, we're just going to loosely thread that on the end. That way this all is held in place, and we'll take this to the front of the carrier. So at this end of the carrier, or really for each section, you'll have a portion of track and a larger opening. This top section of the clamp kind of separates like that, and that allows us to slide it into the channel, and it keeps it held in. I've got the clamp opening to the rear where the fishing rod carrier is also going to open, and once I have both up here, I can bring it up to the ladder rack and get it installed. It's a good idea to check your crossbar spread before lifting it so you know roughly where to put those clamps, but for our case today, this is going to work out pretty well. I'll just need to adjust that front one a little bit. Now, depending on how tight a fit you have on your clamps, you might need to just undo the nut and the star washer that we did prior, because you can see there's not much thread poking out the bottom there. And if we need to, we could swap to a longer bolt, but I think this is going to be really the perfect length for our application. Just want to get that hooked under the long portion of the clamp there. And since it does use that security nut, use the provided tool to tighten it down until it's nice and snug on the roof. Once you have both installed, you can just give it a quick shake test and make sure that nothing's really moving around. The clamps are nice and tight. And just remember that as far as fitment goes, for your bar thickness really, just look for anything between 1 3/4 of an inch thick, all the way up to 2 1/8 of an inch. If you have larger than that, you might need to consider something like channel mounting, or if you have smaller than that, then the stock clamps will likely be just a fine fit, and you'll just need to swap to one of the larger bolts that they include too. But overall, not a bad swap. I mean, they work really just the same as the stock clamps, And if you've got those larger crossbars like most ladder racks do, and you're looking to carry your fly rods with the Trxstle carrier, then these clamps are going to be a really solid option. My name's Aiden, and thank you for watching.